Hi everybody. As promised, at 200 subscribers, I would be doing a complete small guide on how to play um, Unarmed Warrior. This is a little bit of a demonstration in a level 45 zone. I'm very poorly geared, and as you can see, I'm able to still function using shield charge and infernal cry. Okay, and I would say I'm super tanky at this stage of the game for the type of items that I have. Like, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'm not even blocking here. My resistant, look, they do lightning damage right now. My lightning damage is my lightning resistances are 27%. It's really not that good. Let's say I don't even have potions. Oops. When you do palm strike on a very low HP enemy, I'll show you, on a coup de grace like this, you'll gain back 12% of your HP. So that makes you extremely tanky, and with really minimal effort, you're basically sustaining through everything. And even though we're full strength, full tank, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be able to deal an absurd amount of damage with corrupted blood from any warcraft that you use. We also use enfeeble on boss fights to make sure that we can sustain even more the damage. We also use shield charge, and shield charge, what's interesting about shield charge is you only need stomping grounds. Okay, stomping grounds is like the bread and butter of this build. Also corrupted cry, but corrupted cry, I mean, early game is good, but you can only stack it once, so your clear speed potential in area of effect is kind of limited. But sometimes, I mean, in the beginning, you're gonna one-shot people with only one stack. You just have to work right once and everything's gonna die. But with stomping ground, what's very interesting about this is the amount of shockwave that are being radiated from it, and each shockwave does 80 to 100% to 120% of your strength. So right now I have 300 strength, so let's say it does 300 damage. So it does 300 damage per amount of shockwave on the ground. But the amount of shockwave on the ground is quite significant. It's about 6 times. So you're basically doing like right now at this stage, I'm doing 1800 damage with a single shield charge, and that doesn't even count the hit of the shield charge itself, but just the shockwave. So it's an area of effect. Also, you can also scale the area of effect if you want to have some, like, let's say here I have magnified effect, I have stomping ground, and I have cooldown. Like, I don't even have damage on this, I only have stomping ground. That's my, you could go brutality, you could go with some, like, even something else for damage. You would deal even more damage. It's actually insane. And by the way, I didn't even consider the melee damage that you add in percentage, the physical damage. That was just pure strength. You do 1800 damage in a single shield charge at level like 44. It's completely insane. And I mean, you will have a lot of strength even before that. You'll be like level 25. You'll do 2k damage with a single shield charge. Your infernal cry, well, it's 25% of I think the combos, wait a minute, corrupted blood, 25% of your strength per second, and you can stack it 10 times, so 25%, 250% per second of your strength will be added to your damage. So I know right now I have 300%, 300 strength, so that means 250% of that would be would be close to 600, 750. So 750 per second while having the time to just keep the stack up, um, like I'll show it to you right now. Let's say you already have 10 stacks on the enemies. Like at first you have to get the stacks going, but once the big enemy has the stacks on it, you can just walk away, do your shield charge, keep a stack, walk away, do your shield charge, keep a stack. And what's really good about this build is you can like literally go into it and disengage, into it, disengage, Warcry, go back in with bomb strike, finish the kill off, take gain back 12% of your health. It's super effective at just being a straight tank. As you can see here, I have bomb strike with life drain and martial tempo. Martial tempo just makes you so quick to just be able to survive like the most crazy situations and just get out of there. And most of the time the corrupted blood will finish off the enemies and you just need to get off. I also use shield wall at one point in the game. That's only when you're pretty much bossing but you know you won't die and you want some extra damage and go faster. Then you use it, you do the shield wall, and then you shield charge into the enemy with the wall, and it does explode the wall and does extra damage. Shockwave totem, terrible item, terrible spell. It's really bad with no weapon. It does literally no damage. Killing Palm, I forgot to say, it needs to be level 1 so that you can attach Life Drain and Martial Tempo with very little dex. Right now I only need 15 dex to run this setup, and it's perfectly fine. You don't need more. You just want to finish off enemies quickly or jump on enemies quickly and get that Life Drain back. Now let's talk about the passive tree. The passive tree early game is super easy. You just rush strength like this up to beef. Once you have the beef, you know you're good. You're gonna be eating good. Now, but seriously, once you get to beef, you will get down here and you'll get crushing verdict. It's gonna give you 100% increased damage on attack damage, and here also melee damage with smash. This will give you insane amount of damage for being such a low level individual. You're gonna be like, I don't know, like 22, 23. You're gonna do insane amount of damage and you're still gonna be super tanky. After that, once you get your second ascendancy, we obviously respect those because we want to focus on doing damage with corrupted blood and war cries. So here there's damage nodes for war cries. That's what I would take. And there's also here that you can have more area of effect if you want to, more area of effect for war cries. But going full strength is also fine. You don't even need the area of effect, or I would at least take these damage nodes. This here could totally be left out. You could go towards Defiance and Impenetrable Shell if you are playing hardcore character. Also, Battle Honored and Blade Catcher are extremely good to survivability. Hard to kill, extremely good. Augment your flask, also here extremely good. Desperate times, when you're low HP, you're recovering like crazy, and your life flask are just giving you so much health. Yeah, it's pretty good. One thing I want to say is this build has a lot of HP, okay, and one of the main concern is like when fights go too long in boss fights, you need a good sustain. So always look for gains charges per second on your life flask. It's gonna save your life a lot in boss fights. For the mana, it's whatever. You're never running out of mana with this build because we're running Corrupted Blood, Infernal Cry, and Corrupted Blood with life tap. If you do not run life tap, it's impossible to sustain the war cries. You can also get blood magic here, but if you don't want to waste the points, you can just have life tap directly on it. Like personally, I'm only running a 2 link here with life tap. Like I don't even have damage on this, and it's doing insane amount of damage. So yeah. Now let's talk about how to level it up and what to do. Personally, I would start in Act 1 in town, and you get Contagion. Contagion is better than the first skill for any skill for warrior. You just wield a 2-hand mace, even the cheap one, the starting one with no damage, and then you can kill the witch. Then you kill the other witch in Grillwood. You get the support gem. You rush straight through to Red Valley. In Red Valley, you do your contagion, you clear the mobs, and you get level 6. Once you're level 6, you go back and you kill the boss. You go back, you get shield charge. You look every time you level up. It would be good to look for strength items, and if you can have strength items, a bit of strength on each of your items in the beginning of the game, it's gonna increasingly like crazy boost your damage. And then all you need to do is have shield charge and stomping ground. Once you have stomping ground and shield charge, you don't even need anything else. You're just going to be crushing through. Obviously you would like to have a second support gem, and right when you have a level 3 skill gem, again you take Infernal Cry and you suck at it with Corrupting Blood. So it does give you a little bit of an AoE damage that is not 100% melee. Then the next step, there's always in concert, the Tomb of Concert, there's always a support gem in the beginning. I recommend taking it, but you can skip it. You can go actually as fast as possible from here. You can literally get your skill points from hunting grounds by killing the boss, and then you can get the banjo. It's not a banjo, but I call it the banjo. And then you can go straight up and you can kill the boss in Act 1, no problemo. You don't even need resistances. This build is completely tanky, and if you play well, you won't die. Obviously, if you're playing softcore, you don't even have to care about that. And in hardcore, well, you can just take your time if you want to. Okay, for Act 2. Now Act 2 is going to be the hardest part about this leveling up, because let's say you're starting to lack clear speed in the beginning and your damage is not, it's okay, you're gonna be fine, you can rush through, you can do your ascendancy, but it's not gonna be insane because the first ascendancy doesn't give you much. I would consider going Jade in for the first ascendancy. Here it will give you a lot of defensive, and you could most likely survive Titan much easier. Okay, Titan is such a bad, it's the most dangerous one. You can get one shot even though you're a straight tank. I would need to test this out with this character right now. It is like level 44 to see, do I get one shot even level 44 with 1600 health or not? Like, is it bugged or anyway? Basically my point is, until you get your second ascendancy and ignore Warcry cooldown, you're gonna be in a bit of a struggle for clear speed. But that's not important. What you want to do is rush through content. Okay, that build is made to kill bosses and survive. And once you do that, you can go through the content, get to Act 3, and once you're in Act 3, well, the good thing about Act 3 is you can get to the Temple of Chaos. Okay, and I don't know why I don't see the full map here. I don't think that's the complete Act 3 map. There was another map before. I'm not sure why I cannot see it. I'm not familiar with Act 3 very much. But in Act 3, you pass the monkey. Okay, don't try to kill the monkey. That's a really bad idea. you go you go straight leveling, and you try to get to the second ascendancy as fast as possible. Once you get the second ascendancy, this is where you can clear all the content and farm and just make sure your build is a bit stronger. Then you can kill the monkey, and yeah, don't try to kill the monkey without the second ascendancy. It's such a suicide. You will probably survive it if you spec into defenses, a single hit, but it's very very hard to do. So yeah, man, that's about it. I mean, the build is pretty straightforward. It's very easy, and just make sure you put raise shield on the slot where you auto attack normally, and you'll see how strong it is. Also, shield charge makes you block every incoming attacks in the direction you're going to. So that's also something to consider when you play it. It's a very defensive and offensive skill that is, I think, underlooked, and a lot of people are playing with like I don't remember the name, but it's like it looks like shield charge and it's super clunky, and you need like a weapon. And personally, I don't like it. It's not as hardcore friendly as this build is. And yeah, man, hopefully you will survive. And if you're playing softcore, well, you will have a ton of fun, just not caring and just going as fast as possible, and probably being able to survive. Uh, so yeah, man, see you soon. Peace out.